Hello and welcome to a slightly different macros video. My concern today is helping editors to edit. Obviously I'm talking about using macros, but there are barriers to getting started with macros, and therefore I'm here to see what I can do to help you. So my main concern is for those who would call themselves less technical editors, and that's the main concern I have. The macro tools, there's loads of them. They are free, they are powerful, and they do increase your accuracy. And actually I'd also say that they make editing more fun. But unfortunately they are somewhat underused. And why is that? Well, I've got various suggestions as to why that might be. There are what I would call confidence barriers. In other words, barriers. Some people say, well, it's just too complicated, I can't do it, I'm not technically minded. And some people have tried and just couldn't get going. Things have improved over the years. We've provided more materials and so on. But if you're feeling like any of these, don't worry, you're not alone, and we're going to help. There are technical barriers. If you're trying to learn any new computer technicality, it takes effort, time and effort, and many people do need support with that sort of thing. I know if I'm expert in macros, but a lot of other computer things I really struggle and I need help too. There are also what I would call conceptual barriers. Now some of the macros, not a problem. You just use them. They're just fairly straightforward, and you make use of them. However, others do kind of need fitting into your workflow. In other words, you need to understand what it's all about and what they can do for you, and how you relate those macros to the rest of your workflow. That's particularly true of Freddit. It is the most powerful macro, but I suppose along with that power goes the fact that you do need to know how it works, or what it does, and how you can use it for the best effect. Are there solutions to these barriers? Yes. There are professional solutions. In other words, there's professional training available. The most obvious is that the EFA runs a course called Macros A to Z, and it's Jennifer Yonkopoulos who runs that, and Jennifer has made such a difference to the training of macros over the past few years by bringing it down to the every person level, as opposed to being something for technical experts. It's for everybody, and Jennifer can get that across for you. And if you want to find out when the next running of that course is, you can look at her Macro of the Month Substack, and it will tell you when to look out for it. You can also ask your own professional group, because many of the professional groups offer occasional training, but if you want more, then ask them and say, we need to know how to get going with macros, please help us. I'm pleased to also tell you that there's free training available. Courses cost money, but this lot doesn't. So the two I've got available on my website are Macros from Square One and Freddit from Square One. And at times I also offer free Zoom sessions, and I'm in the mood to do that at the moment as I record this, so watch this space. Okay, so what's the best approach with the training? It's to combine it with a Zoom. In other words, what I suggest you do is to book a Zoom and then have a go at whether it's Macros from Square One or Freddit from Square One. Have a go at the training materials, try and work through them, see how far you can get, but you'd be under no pressure, in the sense that you know that you're about to attend at some stage, maybe maybe set it up a week in advance or something, that you'll be able to attend the Zoom session, and there'll be help available there. I'll be able to discuss it with you and show you what's what. But from my experience, when people have tried that to see how far they do get a lot further than they might have thought, and many of them just get straight through the training material and get going. And often those Zoom sessions are more along the lines of helping people to see where they go next, how they can get more macros and develop them. So we've got the two. We've got start. It can help you to start macros generally, assuming you've not done any at all. And in many ways, that's the biggest step, that first hurdle. And then once you've got going, then there's what I would call an intermediate macro, Freddit, very powerful, but not one that you would do in the first couple of weeks or whatever. But if you fancy a go with the training, with the Zoom, email me and we can arrange a time for a time and day for a Zoom session, obviously depending on whereabouts you are in the world and how that fits in with time zones. So that's the email address to arrange it. And then once we've arranged a time and date, then I can advertise it and other people can come along. So you take the initiative, you come to me, you arrange something with me, and then we'll make it more widely available. But the other approach perhaps is to learn by mutual support. In other words, meet together either in person or by Zoom with other editors. Put your heads together, do it together, learn together, start together, and I'm sure again you'll find it's easier than you think, as I say, especially where you've got to if you come up to one of the steps and it doesn't quite make sense and the other person has a look, or other people, and they can perhaps take you further. But overall, yes, help is available, so I would say to you, go for it. You won't regret it. It really is worthwhile. That's it then. Happy macroing, and I hope you enjoy it. Bye now.